What's going on, everyone? It's Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf. This is our DFS picks and sleeper show for the 2021 Punta Cana. We've done this. This is the second time we've seen the Punta Cana for this PGA Tour season. For this show, because we did so much for the WGC, it's going to be a little bit more condensed. Craig, we're going to do 2 picks and 2 sleepers each.
Yep, so you're getting it all in one video. No need to click anywhere else.
All in one video. It is the Punta Cana at Punta Cana Resort and Club, Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Again, we've seen this one recently, so we kind of know what it is. Par 72, 7,600 yards. It's long. Tom Fazio designed. Opened in 2008. Host since 2016. It was a web.com event for a couple years, and now it's a PGA opposite field event.
I actually think you're not allowed to call it the web.com tour anymore. It was always the Corn Ferry Tour. It's one of the things I think is so funny with the PGA Tour. Like, it's not the Houston. It's never going to be the Shell Houston Open again. It has always, it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm a traditionalist. I'm going web.com.
It was the web.com when it was there. Yeah.
But previous winners, Hudson Swafford got it just a couple months ago, minus 18. Graham McDowell, Bryce Garnett. So 18, 18, 18. It is kind of a birdie fest. And looking at the weather, primary defense, it looks like we're not going to get much of it.
Yeah, I mean, there will be a bit of it, but they're scoring even in the wind there. So, I mean, for a coastal court in the Caribbean, you are always going to have a bit of wind like that. Like, that is not a windy day there, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's jump into the picks, unless you have anything else to add for the...
No, let's keep her short through the picks and then back to the match play, which I should have on this TV next to me.
Okay. My first pick, I'm just going with guys I think can do really well here. I think this is kind of a slam dunk. Emiliano Grillo, 10,500 on DraftKings. He's third. Ranks the past couple months, past 6 months in this field. He ranks second. Strokes gained total plus 0.76. And actually, looking at his ranks, he's positive over the past 6 months. Positive putting, positive off the tee, and positive approach. I love to see that Grillo has been positive putting. That's really encouraging for him. If he has a hot putter here, I think he quickly turns into the kind of the favorite here. He has played here twice, so he has some familiarity with the course. 21st just a few months ago, 2020, 50th in 2018. Again, I think he's improved since then. And again, this is an opposite field event, so we're not going to get guys that are coming in necessarily quote unquote hot. But he does have 3 top 25s in his past 5 PGA Tour starts. Yep,
I like it. I mean, Grillo, we know how good of a ball striker he is. In this weak field, this is the type of field that he can bully a little bit if his putter holds up, and it has shown good form. So when a guy's second in strokes gained total over the past 6 months, you have to feel like they have a pretty good shot.
Yeah, exactly.
My first one here, I'm going back to the well with Brandon Wu. I know there's a lot of people who might have been disappointed with his last one, but hear me out. I still am bullish on this guy's talent, and I feel like, especially in DFS where you're playing against the field and other people are not going to be willing to go back there. I'm going to go back there this week. 9,400.
Like Brandon Wu in this picture is actually telling you, Craig, whoa, Craig, whoa.
9,400 on DraftKings. He's 9th in pricing. So again, his strokes gained stats over the last 12 months and 6 months, he's 6th in both of those. So the long-term form is that this guy is a top player in this field. His last 3 months, obviously he had the bad tournament at the Honda Classic, so that one has come down, whereas previously his last 3 months was even higher than his long-term form. So he's 17th there despite having a decent strokes gained over the time. But recently what he's done, top 10 at Puerto Rico, and then he was cut from the Honda Classic, which was last time I had touted him as a potentially good play. So what has he done? He had 2 missed cuts on the Corn Ferry Tour in 2020. What did he do after those? Because that's essentially what we're looking at. After a missed cut, what does he do? So 3 weeks following the first missed cut, he went tied for second, tied for 58th, and then a win. Mm-hmm. After the second miscut, he went tied for 10th, tied for second, tied for 14th. So, both times he missed a cut, he came back with a top 10 the next week. I just think, I still believe, a miscut's a miscut. I still believe in this guy's talent. I think that he bounces back this week. I do think it's a bit of a softer field, even though Honda Classic wasn't the strongest of fields. I'm still on Brandon Wu.
Yeah, I like it. I like that stat of kind of the bounce back. It's like the birdie or the bogey bounce back stat, but like the bounce back after a missed cut. I think that says a lot about the mentality of a player. So, yeah, I like it. His price is high, though.
Yeah, and just real quick, I'm going to check on that 3-month strokes gain. I know the 17th, the rank of 17th in the field is correct, but that 0.89 seems a little bit high to me. So I'll let you know in the comments below if that's not the case.
Yeah, sounds good. My second pick, kind of one up and comer to another. I'm going Justin Suh, 8,700 on DraftKings. He's 16th. Again, I mean, even compared to Brandon Wu, I think it's a little bit underpriced for the long-term potential of Justin Suh here. So ranks the past 6 months. It's great. Third stroke gain total, 0.58. Second stroke gain putting, he's been hot, plus 1.09. I mean, kind of stats that I look for with this course. You got to be long off the tee. You got to be pretty good with your irons, proximity, and then you got to putt it well. So I like the fact that he has putted it well coming in. I think he can ride that hot putter. Also, he was 14th here at Corrales in September. So he went 67, 67, 71, 73. Fell off a little bit on the weekend, but I love the fact that he's had those two kind of really low rounds.
And I do think that field was stronger than the field we see this week.
Yeah, I mean, Mackenzie Hughes, those kind of types.
Will Zalatoris.
Zalatoris, for sure. Two guys that are now at the match play.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It wasn't an opposite field. It was the only event that week. So not everyone went to it, because that's oftentimes the case with these ones where they're a little bit more international. It's more work to travel there. But there was no WGC going on that week.
Yeah. And again, there's not, I mean, you're kind of cherry picking here a little bit, but his last 5 PGA Tour starts, 4 top 37s, only 1 missed cut, 2 of those top 15s. So when he does get the PGA Tour start, when he can play on the PGA Tour, he's performed well. Yeah. It's not too much for him. He performs well. So yeah, I really like his chances in a weaker field of the course he knows.
Yeah, if you hadn't chosen him here, I think I likely would have had him as one of my plays. He'll be in my lineups. My next one, I'm sticking with the young guns. Taylor Pendrith, 8,100. He's 22nd in pricing. This to me is a little bit of a case of what did we see from this guy over the course of the past year? What did we see from him last summer maybe? So over the last 12 months, he's actually 5th in this field in strokes gained total. He gained 0.38. But over the last 6 months, he's actually losing strokes. And he goes down to 39th in strokes with losing almost a half stroke. Now, why do I like him here? So this is a course where distance is a weapon. Distance for Taylor Pendrith is a strength. You look at his 2020 Korn Ferry Tour stats. He's 6th in distance, which okay, whatever, 6th in the distance on the secondary tour. He's gained it's an average of over 320 yards. It's just people are crazy long on the Korn Ferry Tour. So he's 6th in distance down there. He's 126th in accuracy. So that's sort of almost exactly. I mean, yes, it'd be great if he had 6th in distance and 6th in accuracy, but it's more. Distance is much more predictive here than accuracy off the tee. So his form last summer. This is what I come back to with Pendrith. This is Korn Ferry Tour, but he had 4 straight top 3 finishes last summer. So he was absolutely scorching hot, and he was on a run where he had 9 of 10 top 25s. That includes at the U.S. Open. So I think this guy, he's a Canadian boy, so obviously we have a bit of a soft spot for him. But I think he's got tons of game. I think his, maybe his form, his recent form, he's priced close to accurate. But I think that his long-term form has hinted at much higher upside than 22nd in this field.
Yeah, so I completely agree. I like Pendrith as well. Again, his long-term kind of potential. I love Pendrith. I think he has as high a ceiling as really anybody, especially in the 8K range. But I do worry about that floor.
Yeah, for sure.
I do worry about that floor. Much more of a GPP. So I don't know if I'm doing a single entry. I don't know if Pendrith is safe enough kind of with maybe the veterans around him. He
has more, I would say, top 10 equity than other guys, but he also has a much higher chance of missing the cut.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that is our 4 picks. Craig, we're going under 8K. I mean, you were close with your pick, but we're going under 8K for our sleepers.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, first one. I'm going pretty low with my couple sleepers here. I'm going Kristoffer Ventura, 7,300 on DraftKings. He's 39th. It's just, again, it's kind of, I think we're buying low a little bit with Kristoffer Ventura here. He has dropped off. He hasn't been playing well recently, but he does, his talent flash was there. And we saw that in the fall with 2 top 10s this PGA Tour season. Going back to Corrales last year, 52nd at Corrales with a 72, 69, 70, 72. Par or better all those rounds. I like that. But again, looking at this statistical fit, and I kind of agree with this looking at the other guys we've picked. Driving distance, he's 37th on the PGA Tour, 303 yards, and strokes gained putting plus 0.78. That is 6th on the PGA Tour. That's not just kind of this field, that's on the PGA Tour. So he's an extremely good putter. If he can kind of get anywhere with his irons, if he can kind of turn that around at all, get his green regulations up, I think with his putter, he can make a move for sure. And the fact that he's priced down, I think it could seem like a great discount when he comes out Thursday and is firing.
Yeah, and I mean, the chances of him getting an ace seem like they must be elevated from anyone else, because then people get to call him Ace Ventura. But no, I like it. I do think he's a talent. He is someone, I would say, in this sleeper group, I would say he is much more high risk, high reward. Yes. I don't give him the most cut equity, I would say. I
agree. Yeah, he has, after his fall season, his missed cuts are alarming.
Yeah. As a lot of people in this tournament are.
And again, this is an opposite field event. So when we're looking at sleepers under 8,000, you're not going to find everything. You're not going to find someone that checks every single box, right?
These guys were usually seen in the low 6Ks.
Yeah, exactly.
So my first one, it is similar, I would say, in that it is a. Are we buying this at a low point? Is this a thing we're buying and catching the rebound? So Joel Dahmen, he's 7,700, 29th in pricing. Can he find his long-term form? So I went with a bunch of young guys, Brandon Wu, Taylor Pendrith. You brought up Justin Suh. I'm going with a couple of older guys here for sleepers.
Okay.
And guys that I think, we've seen them play well. They may not necessarily, especially with Dahmen, we may not necessarily have seen his best stuff over the last little bit, but I think his overall pedigree speaks to it being a good value. So in this field, strokes gained total over the past 2 years, he's actually plus 0.41, which is 6th. Yeah. So that's a pretty darn good deal when you think you're getting him at 29th in pricing. Now, what does that look like? So this is for the calendar year 2020 and 2021. So 2020, he had 22 events. He made 18 cuts, 11 top 25. So that's half the time he's getting top 25s. And these are not opposite field events. These are,
totally.
He had a top 10 at the Zozo Championship, which was a stacked field. 4 top 10s overall in 22 events. So now we flip the calendar. 2021, 7 events, a single made cut.
Yeah.
No top 25s. And obviously then no top 10s. So he has not had his best stuff. I looked into it a bit. It looks like his putter has been flagging. He's lost strokes putting in his last 6 tournaments. So putting is one of those things, though, that we can see that flip. It's more concerning, I think, if a guy's ball striking is long-term in a slump. Putting, you can see the flip happen quickly in a tournament to tournament.
Yeah.
Last thing that makes me hope that he can find it here. He started here twice. He was not here in the fall when we came here in 2020, but 2018 and 2019 he was 12th one year and 13th the next year. So if he's going to find a place to turn it around, I think this could be a good opportunity.
Yeah, I think we know with Joel Dahmen that this is his career. He treats this like a job. Like, he's pretty businesslike at it. I mean, he's a fun guy as well from everything that we've seen. But I think he's very well aware of where he is right now this calendar year. And this type of tournament is exactly where you're like, I know I can go out there and compete. I got it. Like this is where I flip the switch. This is where I turn around my season.
Yeah.
Will he do it? I don't know.
Will he do it? We don't know. But I'm gonna be backing him to do it.
Yeah. Speaking of cold putters, my last sleeper here is Tyler Duncan at 7,000 on DraftKings. He ranks 51st there. So his ranks the past 6 months. Looking at data golf, his ranks the past 6 months in this field. He is 11th strokes gained tee to green at plus 0.29, 7th in approach, 0.48. I love those stats. A kind of nice safety. His trips to Corrales, 59th in 2019, miscut in 2018. But if you look at kind of his history from 2020, 2021, his putter has gone completely off. He's completely lost it with his putter. It's like his negative graph is alarming for sure. But he plays well on these kind of destination, resort, island type courses. Maybe it's the Paspalum grass. I don't know what it is, but I feel like, again, softer field. He is hitting the ball well. So if something can kind of click, this is at 51st ranking in this field. This is a full-time PGA Tour player, winner in the past couple years. I think it was the RSM Classic that he won. We know he can do it. It just needs one part of his game. And if we're looking at sleepers, I'm willing to I'll take a risk on the greens with Tyler Duncan.
Yep. I like it. I mean, I think once we're down to this price range, we're really throwing darts in this field because 7,000 in an opposite field event, you do get a range of types. And so his form, I would say, is a bit better. But, you're betting on a putter. And that's going to be the case. It's not going to be – we're not going to find all the things checking all the boxes at this price range. So I don't know whether or not I'm going to take the risk on him, but he's a good guy to do it with, I think.
Yeah.
Another guy, speaking of people who have strong history on destination resort courses. Pat Perez, 7,400 on DraftKings. He's 35th in pricing. To me, again, similar to Dahmen, I'm looking at long-term form. 2-year strokes gained total in this field. He's plus 0.33. That's 8th. Again, Corrales history. He started here in the fall 2020. He was 21st at that event. Mm-hmm. And I think there's some value here, even without the long-term form. He's about 50-50 in terms of making cuts over the past few months, but his strokes gained, if you compare that to everyone else in this field, that's not actually that bad. And you compare it to people at 7,400, that's not that bad. So his last 3 months strokes gained total, he's again plus 0.33, which is 13th in this field. So to me, Pat Perez is just a pure value in this tournament. I think he has upside. I think he has probably, of the people with upside, I think he has a bit more cut equity. But I think his ownership will probably be a bit higher than some of the other ones because of it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's past Ballon Pat Perez. This is where he makes his hay. I mean, he does, he's got a couple of wins on these type of courses. Yeah. So yeah, of course he'll get attention, but rightfully so. 7,400 opens up a lot of stuff with your DraftKings line.
Yeah, for sure. That does it. We got you eight plays to look at.
8 plays to look at. That is the Corrales Punta Cana for 2021. We don't know exactly what the weekend is going to shape up like for us. So make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, because we don't know exactly what videos are dropping. Showdown and all that look a little bit different for this week.
Yeah. Good luck, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yes. Yeah.